Hey guys, I'm not feeling super califragilisticexpialidocious today. Girl's been sick. I'll live. But we need to do a video for Saturday, so all I could really muster myself up to do is read some juicy Reddit, which I like to do on my own time anyway. So we're just gonna grab a blanket. I have a little heated blanket on me right now. It's actually cold in Texas for once. We're just gonna read some other people's tea, okay? And I just need to tell you that you are
very special
and very unique. Not unlike the new horn I got. But I won't blow it right now because it's very loud and obnoxious, unlike yourself. Or maybe you are, and I kind of love that for you. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
Do you like free candy? I know I do. Many of you know I have a candy company called SourBoys. We come out with 4 new flavors every single month, and we make them with natural flavors and colors from fruits and vegetables. Do you want SourBoys for free? Then download Legend of Zulk from the App Store. And for those of you who don't know, Legend of Zulk is a game that myself, my husband, and a very small team made all together, and we're super proud of it. And it's got this little guy, hey, that's me, as the main character. His name is Zulk. Hi, I'm Zulk. And he's a wizard. I'm a wizard. And we just added a quest in the game where you can play it and get free candy. This is where you get your code for 10% off. So after you accept the Earn Candy quest, you just have to play the game and get tome pages. You'll pick them up while you play the game. So when you pick up 2,000, that's when you can get a free bag of candy. And there's also little mini quests here that reward you with more tome pages. So there's a lot of ways that you can get some free candy, some SourBoys. Also, if you have any feedback to this game, we want to make it better, and we can make it better because it's our game. So please let us know right here. Go here and let us know. And currently it's iPhone only, but it's coming very soon to Android as well. So get some free candy, download our game, Legend of Zulk, and play it today.
And before I get into it, sorry for what I look like. Didn't try today. And this is what you're getting, all right? And also, I read Reddit and do other types of videos over on my second channel. So if you like this type of video, I have a ton of them over there. But let's get into it. First up, we have...
Am I the scallywag for telling my wife to stop being so jealous of my friend's fiance?
Oh, interesting. I am intrigued. Let's read. My wife, 35 female, and I, 36 male, are good friends with another couple. My best friend Matt, 36 male, and his fiance Rachel, 24 female. Okay, so she's like 10 years younger than you guys. Is this who you're jealous of? Let's see. Rachel models. Okay, Rachel is the other. Okay, she's a model. All right. And is very attractive. Slow down, John. Okay, I don't know your name. Slow down. My wife is less conventionally attractive, but I fell in love with her for her humor and good spirit, which I personally find more attractive than good looks. All right. Okay, John, maybe don't tell her that, though. Recently, I've noticed my wife making a lot of comments about Rachel, calling her an airhead and just being kind of mean. When my wife makes these comments in private, I'm able to stand up for Rachel. But when they're made in public, I obviously don't want to embarrass my wife by calling her out. Ooh, okay, we're saying some iffy things here a little bit. I don't agree with, if she's saying it directly to her. We're going to keep reading. I'm going to just have the benefit of the doubt in the back of my mind. My wife and I went on a trip away with Matt and Rachel last week, which we had been planning for a while and really looking forward to. At dinner one night, my wife made a really mean comment after we started talking about the economy. She remarked, "Don't worry, Rachel, you can join in the conversation once the smart people are done." That is very mean. I don't agree with Cassandra. We're going to call her Cassandra. I don't agree with her. That's so mean. She was the only one who laughed. Yikes. I was completely embarrassed, and once we were alone, I told my wife she had been really rude and I was ashamed of her. I told her she needs to stop making nasty comments, and she agreed. Okay, some growth. However, the next night, we all went out to the bar. Rachel was getting a lot of attention from guys there who were sending over drinks. My wife was looking visibly annoyed that she wasn't receiving the same attention, so I tried to lift her spirits by paying for all her drinks and making a fuss of her. As you should, she's your wife. One guy came over and said that Rachel looked just like the model Zendaya. Oh, wow, she's really pretty. Wow, okay, wow. My wife let out a massive laugh and said, "Did you mean to say Whoopi Goldberg?" Who are you, Cassandra? She needs to take a time out for a year. This is bad. I turned to my wife and straight up said, "You really are so jealous, aren't you?" Oh, fuck. Just me in the bushes right now, like, oh my God. Watching them. I just, and my... listening like this. Oh, that's terrible. I'm so glad this isn't me. She looked hurt, but didn't have time to respond as Rachel had left to the tables in tears. I feel really bad for Rachel right now, I'm not gonna lie. I followed Matt and told Rachel directly that I was so sorry for my wife's words and that I was ashamed of her behavior. When I reunited with my wife, she told me I was horrible for calling her jealous in front of everyone and embarrassing her. Wow, your feelings can get hurt too? Just like you hurt other people's feelings? You bitch. I told her straight up that she was jealous of Rachel, as Rachel is more attractive than her. Oh, wow. The hole's getting deep. Just give this guy a shovel. Give both of them a shovel. They're just got to deep. They both got to take a timeout. I realize in hindsight, this was a very heavy thing to say and can see why she would be hurt by it. However, I stand by the fact it was said in anger. Am I the asshole? Yeah, that was rude to say to her for sure. Very, very rude of her to say in front of Rachel. Like, you know, it's one thing to just say stuff behind closed doors with somebody you trust, but to say it in front of their face and to just belittle a human being like that, when this person, like, she's just living her life. Rachel's just like, hey, I look like Zendaya, like, let her live. Yeah, that's not okay. I think you're a soft asshole for like the things you said to her, but I don't think you're an asshole at all for calling her out on what she's saying, because that is not okay. Because what you're asking is, are you the asshole for telling your wife to stop being jealous of a friend? No. Yeah, in general, no. But what you said, let's work on that for sure. But you seem to understand that. So let's read the comments though. Not the asshole. Aside from the way you handled it at the end, agreed. She's the asshole. Stop bringing her around when you hang out with Matt and Rachel. Don't lie to her though. Just don't bring her anywhere they are going to be. If she doesn't like it, then oh well, she doesn't get to bully people and get rewarded. Yeah, it's like, oh, can you put your wife on a timeout and just be like, yeah, you're not allowed to come hang out with these friends? I feel like at that point, what are you doing together if you just can't hang out with these other people? Or, yeah, I don't really know what the solution is here. I mean, it's obviously to, hopefully Rachel can come to terms with the jealousy and just the meanness and work on it. I don't think the best thing to do is to just only hang out with these people alone. It's putting like lipstick on a pig, like a band-aid over a gushing wound, you know? Another one said, not the asshole OP, the only person here who is not acting like a mature adult is your wife. You talked to her in private and she didn't listen. Unfortunately, sometimes people have to be called out in public in order for them to get the point. I don't even think you're the asshole for calling her out in public. I think it was just maybe the way you did it. And not even the way you did it, like, oh, you really are jealous. That makes me cringe, but I don't even know if that was the wrong thing to say, because that clearly is the case. It's when you started calling her like you're not as attractive as her and stuff. It's like, oh God, man, you're just kicking a guy when he's already down. I don't know, just doubling down. I don't think helps anybody. But to be fair, she was clearly very much embarrassing Rachel, so he kind of was just like, well, there. But then you got to remember, no, that's your wife. So there's an edit though, so let's see what that says. I forgot to mention that since the trip, Matt has messaged me to let me know my wife is no longer welcome at their wedding, and that as a couple himself and Rachel have decided they aren't interested in our friendship anymore if my wife is around. That's fair. Rachel feels as if my wife has bullied her and has even suggested that some of the comments were racially motivated. I am so humiliated. That's completely fair. An edit, sorry, another edit. Just wanted to clarify my wife is stunning. I wouldn't have married her if I didn't think she was beautiful. She is just not as conventionally attractive. Whatever that means. All right. To me, she is the most beautiful woman on the planet, but objectively, Rachel is better looking. He's just speaking, I think, just so we have like a clear picture of what's going on. He's not saying like, she looks great if she's got a paper bag over her head. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think he's just trying to paint a picture for us, which, all right, fine. That's fair. I'm very open to being the asshole in this situation, but I definitely wouldn't want people to think I'm not attracted to my wife. Okay, well, thank you for that. Because I was like, whoa, at the beginning there. And also, we have an update. So let's read that. Thanks for the feedback, guys. Just to add, though, I didn't call out my wife in public. I regularly called her out in private after she would make comments. Okay, so that was the first time at the end of that last one that he called her out in public. The reason we continued to hang out as a group is because my wife reassured me her and Rachel got on well, and the comments were in good spirit. Matt would also continue to invite us out, so I didn't think it was too much of a problem. Also, in regards to the free drinks, Rachel accepted them for the table. We all shared the drinks and were joking around. The drinks were sent from the same two creepy guys, and it wasn't the whole bar that was buying Rachel drinks. Matt isn't insecure and would rather accept the free alcohol. Haha. Also, my wife earns more money than me, so we split costs 50-50 most of the time. Oh yeah, because you said that you bought all your wife the drinks, and I'm sure a lot of people were just like, yes, and like, what's what you're supposed to do? But I don't know. Like for me, when Caleb and I go out, it's like whoever pulls their card out or like if I just happen to have my wallet in my hand, I'll pay, or vice versa or whatever. It's really not that big of a deal. But for some people, it's like, no, the guy pays for it, whatever. Everybody's different. Okay. You guys can argue about that in the comments. All right. I think that's fine. All right. I paid for her drinks this time to make her feel better. Sure. All right. Before I update, I also want to make it clear that I don't have feelings for Rachel. I think she is a conventionally attractive girl and she is a model. I'm not even really friends with Rachel, as some of you pointed out she's younger, so we don't have much in common. I also want to make it clear that my wife is conventionally attractive also, just less so than Rachel. See, every time you say it, it just feels icky in my mouth. But all right, Rachel is a model. My wife is not. Yeah, still icky. All right, this doesn't mean I don't think my wife is more attractive than Rachel to me. I just mean objectively Rachel is better looking. Okay, yeah, you're laying, we get it. We get it, John. All right, we get it. I agree with the comments that both my wife and I were the assholes in this situation. My wife's behavior is unacceptable and mine was cruel and have probably done lasting damage to my wife's self-esteem. 100%. I don't think I'm the asshole for failing to call out my wife sooner. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you told her in private constantly, like, hey, you can't say that, like don't do that. And she just kept doing it. In my opinion, you should never publicly criticize your partner. So for me telling her privately that the jokes were inappropriate is enough. I also want to point out my wife and I have already had couples counseling and my wife is in individual therapy. When I initially made the comment that Rachel is more attractive than her, my wife is furious, and rightly so. She said that it was a cruel thing to say and that she wasn't jealous of Rachel and insisted that the jokes were not offensive and everyone was just tiptoeing around the pretty girl. I don't agree with that. I think her comments were very pointed and intentional. So I think that's a little silly to say, unless she's just completely obtuse to the fact that those comments actually hurt people's feelings, which is a whole other thing. When we returned home from the trip and I received Matt's messages, I let my wife know. At first, she was hurt, but eventually came around and said her behavior was inappropriate. She admitted that she is jealous of Rachel. We know, Cassandra. She admitted that she is jealous of Rachel due to her looks and was embarrassed by her behavior. I also asked if she felt as if I found Rachel more attractive than her, but she didn't think that. It was just difficult seeing a younger, prettier girl get treated way better than her, and she felt like second best. Totally normal feeling, by the way. That's completely normal and that's so valid, but we need to work on how we react to that. Those are your feelings, and that doesn't apply to anyone but you. Basically. And I'm assuming she's saying getting treated better because she's getting all this attention from other guys and everything. I think my wife noticed Rachel getting special treatment from other people and was jealous she didn't receive the same. My wife has sent an apology to Rachel, but I don't think the friendship is salvageable. I will still be attending the wedding, but my wife won't be coming along even if she is reinvited. I mean, these are the consequences for your wife's actions. Would I ever go to a wedding? I would never go to a wedding without my husband unless there was something, I don't know, that's a whole other thing. It is his friend. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, is it weird that he's going to the wedding now and she's not? Maybe not, because she's the one that was the asshole. I don't know. I think it's worth my wife having some more therapy and I have to rethink things. This had definitely made me see things in a different light and I'm really disappointed. Thanks again, everyone, for the feedback. Yeah, this whole scenario would kind of just make me take a step back and be like, who did I marry? Because that, again, one thing to say behind closed doors and it still be icky, it'd still be like, whoa, what's going on? Like, let's dig into this a little deeper. But to say it in front of somebody and to be totally fine with that, not to see it be as rude. I mean, I know she did eventually, but that's because everybody else was like, what are you doing? This is terrible. I don't know. It would make me kind of rethink some things as well. This is a weird one. What do you guys think? I think their relationship is salvageable. I think they should do more therapy together, probably. And at least she apologized and she's owning her shit now. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. So yeah, let's see what the last comments say. This is in regards to when she said that, Rachel, you can join the conversation once the smart people are done. And they said, that is such a stupid thing to say. I bet she was real smug about it too. Also, the husband tried talking to her in public, so she left him no choice. I would be beyond mortified if my significant other did something like this and would have shut that shit down the first time it happened. Why did they all allow it to go on for so long? Yeah, I mean, yeah, the not saying it in public. Like if Caleb was to say something like that, like something so rude like that, I would be like, hey, what are you doing? Like that's not nice. Even in a hushed tone, whatever. It's just like, whoa, dude. Like even maybe in a funny way to be like, that's a human being right there. I don't know. I feel like I agree with that. Like shutting that shit down immediately should have been done. Like I know he said it in private a bunch, but yeah, to just sit there and be like, that's my wife. She's crazy. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Comment under that says, honestly, it may piss people off, but I learned a long time ago that if you're going to be rude in public, I'm going to call you out in public. Yes, Grandma, even you. Being called out in public is the most effective way to make sure it doesn't happen again. You want to sass me and be salty? Then don't say the mean thing in front of people in the first place. I didn't embarrass you. You embarrassed or offended someone else and yourself. I agree. And I think I come from a place of not being the most confident person and like the most outspoken person in public. On behalf of somebody else, though, I feel like I am. Like if it was to me, I'd be like, okay. You think I'm pretty? But if it's to somebody else, I'd be like, whoa, what are we doing? Like, that was really rude. I feel like that is just a natural thing. That should be a thing. I agree. Another comment said, all around, yikes. I would not want to be with someone like that. I don't blame this person. Hell, I wouldn't blame friends for cutting me off because it would make them question my character and judgment if I stay with someone like that. It was horrible before the racism reveal, and it became so much worse after. I don't think OP will keep his best friend any longer if he stays with his wife. 100%. Yeah, yeah. She's a mega asshole. And I think you really should kind of rethink some things. For sure. Yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know. I think she needs some serious therapy, and I think these people should not be friends with her anymore, and I think her husband might need to take a step back, reevaluate who he married. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Let's move on. Okay, next up.
My 26 male girlfriend's 28 female ex warned me about her best friend, 32 male. I think he was right.
Okay, let me just... So... You, a dude, and your girlfriend's ex, a dude, warned you about another dude who's her best friend. Got it! We've been dating for 4 months now, and everything has been great except for one thing. Her BFF. Dude is clearly in love with her, but she refuses to see it. I'll tell us all this time. Okay, sometimes, but we'll see. Maybe it's all innocent and whatever, but we'll see. I have a feeling it's not. Based off of this having updates. So we'll see. He is always joking about how he is the one who will make her the happiest and that she should be with as they are soulmates, etc. Okay, so yeah, he loves her. He has a shrine of her in his closet for sure. She has known the dude for close to 8 years now and has never dated him, but he has been her BFF for a very long time. It didn't bother me till she started bringing him on our dates as he was feeling lonely and he has no other friends. Guys, third wheeling so hard. Oh no, this is terrible. Seriously, dude is 32 years old, but I have never seen him with any friends. In fact, our first fight was also about him, as she was asking me to take him with me when I was going to hang out with my friends, but I drew a clear red line. Not happening. Oh my god, she's treating her BFF like it's her 15-year-old son. Like, come on, take him with you. He doesn't do guy stuff all the time because he's with me all the time. He just wants to hang out with you. This is her best friend. Oh no, this is really bad. Oh, dude, just leave. Also, around 1 month ago, her ex contacted me via Facebook. We attended the same college and asked me to be careful about the BFF. Okay, so this is her ex coming and being like, watch out, dude. At that time, I thought it was just something a jealous ex would say, but now I agree with him 100%. The guy went out of his way. He's like, run, get out of there, run. Dude calls her regularly when she's out with me, always tries to come with us on our dates, and generally makes demands on her time so much that sometimes I feel like a third wheel. Now I should make it clear that my girlfriend never crosses any boundaries with him, but at the same time, she doesn't shut him down forcefully. At first, I thought about giving her an ultimatum, but ours is a 4-month-old relationship, and they go back 8 years. There's no point in giving an ultimatum. So the only other way is to break up with her, which is a shame because she is an awesome girlfriend apart from this. Is there any other way, Reddit? anything I can do that our relationship doesn't break down. I would really like to hear any and all plans. Please, guys. Thank you. Tom, I'm going to call you Tom. Talk to her? Why are the only options to give her an ultimatum and or to break up with her? Why are those the only two things? It didn't say in here that you said that you're very uncomfortable and that you'd like, you know, it would be preferable to you if you could go on dates alone, which I don't think is too much to ask. That you kind of feel like a third wheel sometimes. You can be vulnerable with your significant other here and just say what makes you uncomfortable, and then you can act accordingly to how she reacts to that. And if it's just like, no, like I think it's fine and he should be able to do this and all this, then there you go. There's your answer, buddy. Walk away. Walk away from that relationship. It's 4 months old. You don't need that shit. All right. But if she's like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, he's always just been like that, and that's just how, then you can stay in the relationship, or, hey, you can still leave. You don't need a reason. But that would be my advice would just be to talk to her, see how she reacts, and then move on from there. Let's see what the comments say. Is he the reason why her ex and her broke up? She needs a serious wake-up call. This relationship is between you and her. Her BFF doesn't feature. It's okay if occasionally you hang out, but bringing him along dates is f***ed up, and you need to tell her that. If she can't see that, then that's a problem. Exactly what I said, okay? Me and Reddit, always on the same wavelength. All right? Yeah, it's just like, maybe she's had this friend for 8 years. Maybe this is just how they are. Is it normal? What's normal? You know, I don't know. And does it add a little bit of friction because it's a girl and a guy and she's into guys? Probably, yeah, you know. So yeah, I agree. Another comment said he can tease the issue without making it an ultimatum. Exactly what I said. Then see whose boundaries she thinks are reasonable. OP can decide if he needs to leave. Then he will also know he raised the issue and at least tried. Yeah, this exactly. OP said to that, here's some context. We didn't get this. I have talked about this with her at least 5 times. The only thing remaining is to say that if I see him, I am out. But frankly, I am tired now. Her ex said the BFF will wear you out, and he was right. Okay, so this was brought up. I wonder what you said, though. Like, did you say it jokingly, or like, were you straight up about it? But you're saying that the only thing remaining to say is that I don't ever want to see him again. So I feel like you have said your piece. Then that's fine. Then the ultimatum is, ultimatums are rough. I guess that is an ultimatum. If you're going to continue to see this person as much as you are seeing them, I'm not comfortable with it, so I can't be with you anymore, you know? And that's fine. You can have those boundaries. And luckily, we have an update, so let's read it. Update/edit. I've decided to break up with her. Okay, wow. All right. Yeah, all right. Sure, I can talk with her again, but I have already talked to her 5 times with nothing to show for it. So I will do it tonight when I get off work. Doing it over text doesn't seem to be nice. Thank you for helping me reach a conclusion. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. I wish we had more, but we do. We have 2 updates. Yeah! Final update. So I broke up with her. Okay. It was difficult to do, but I knew it was the right thing to do. I went to her apartment and basically told her that this relationship is not working for me. She was surprised as we had just watched a movie on the weekend, so I took the opportunity and explained to her that it was supposed to be a date with just us 2, and instead she brought her BFF there. Okay. Well, I'd be out a long time ago, so I don't blame you. I told her that I have no issue with her friendship with her BFF, but he has been regularly infringing on our time. And that is something which has always overshadowed our relationship. And I have absolutely no interest in competing for her attention with her BFF. Also, the dude openly flirts with you right in front of me, and I have absolutely no desire to be in this kind of dysfunctional relationship. So this is goodbye. Hopefully you are able to put boundaries with your BFF before moving on with someone else. And if you don't, then it's not my headache anymore. Damn, he's laying it out. I wonder if the other guy said this too. And she's just like, these guys are so weird. And then the best friend's like, I love you. Let's get married and run away. And she's like, you're so silly. Let's watch Aladdin. And then he goes on to say, and then I walked away as she was trying to say, it's not like that. She has no feelings for the BFF and he was just lonely. It sounds like she really doesn't have feelings for the BFF, and this guy's just hanging by a thread, hoping that she does one day. I mean, that doesn't change anything. It's still uncomfortable for you. If it was the other way around and this was guy having a girlfriend around with the girlfriend being uncomfortable, it'd be like, why are we still here, honey? You know, I am sad right now, but I will be okay eventually. Thank you for the support, guys. It was appreciated. I think you did the right thing. I don't think you need to stay and just like deal with this. I think she needs to figure out, hopefully she figures out what's going on with her and the best friend and figures out some boundaries before she moves on. But hey, that's not your problem anymore, you know? Comment said, if she can't see the problem by now, she never will. I think so. Until the BFF like confesses his love to her and she's like, oh, they were right. Shit, you know, I don't think she will. Another comment says, this is what I thought was funny. She now has 2 exes that pointed out her BFF was a big problem in the relationship, but instead of acknowledging it might be a little too much, she goes straight for the it's not like that line. The next one says, pay it forward and warn the next guy. It's just like this domino effect. It's turning into a horror movie, a thriller movie. Last comment says, how can you have such little respect that you follow someone around hoping their standards eventually fall enough for you to meet them? And why would you want someone like that around you at all times, costing you relationships? Yeah, they have some interesting codependency going on, and I think they need to address it, but I don't think they will. I think they will get married when they get into like their 40s or something. They'll just be like, well, I guess you're the only one that's left. So, and he'll be like, yes. And then he'll light his shrine on fire and hide it, and she'll never know that he was obsessed with her this whole time. But what do you guys think? What do I know? I'm a YouTuber, you know? But let's read one more. Okay, next one sounds light.
I met a scallywag for refusing to promise my best friend 100% that I wouldn't sleep with a mutual friend.
Oh no, let's get into it. I, 30 female, have a best friend, 29 female, of 13 years. She is in a long-term committed relationship, 7+ years, and lives with her partner. We also share a mutual friend, Aaron, 30, male. About 8 years ago, my friend and Aaron had a brief situationship. They slept together once and then tried to date very briefly long distance, but it ended because he did not want to pursue any further. She was upset at the time, and it never became a mutual relationship. After that, they stayed friendly for a while, then lost touch for several years, and reconnected as friends about a year ago. There has been nothing romantic between them since. I hope so. She's in a relationship. All right. Recently, Aaron broke up with his long-term girlfriend. Before that happened, my friend and I had already planned a trip to visit him together, which we have done before. This time, we were planning to stay at his place instead of a hotel. After his breakup, my friend started making comments like, haha, just please don't sleep with each other. Okay. It was framed as a joke, but it was clear she was anxious. I asked her directly if something was bothering her. I'm going to save my notes for later. I'm going to save my ADHD notes. I told her 2 things clearly. 1, I was not planning to sleep with him. 2, I was not comfortable promising 100% that I would not, because I do not like my potential or hypothetical relationships being policed, and it did not feel okay making absolute promises about future situations just to manage someone else's anxiety. I agree with you, Queen. I'm not gonna lie. So I kind of agree with you. Like, you know, there's being like a really good girlfriend and all this stuff, but this whole situation is like she's been in a relationship for so many years, and she's with this guy. Why would she care about that? Like, it's been so long. What if you, this person OP writing this, and this guy Aaron if they're really compatible, and if it like, why would she want to stop that? I would hate to be her significant other being like, what? You know, I don't know. Let me keep reading. Sorry, I said I wouldn't give notes. I was not trying to be evasive. I was trying to be honest while also setting a boundary. The next day, I reiterated that I was still not planning to sleep with him. Her response was essentially that she was canceling the trip. Wow, she like really doesn't want him. Like, is she okay with other people being with him? Or is it because like she's been with him before? I don't know. This is weird. It's like, I wasn't, and I'd be like, okay, I don't know, because I'd want to respect it, but also it's like, but you've been in a 7-year relationship, like what? I don't know. Like I don't want to seem like I'm not a girl's girl, but this is also, I feel like it's odd to ask somebody to not do that when they're an adult person and it's consensual and they're both single, all this stuff. I don't know. It seems odd to me. She said she was canceling because the uncertainty made her anxious and she needed to take care of herself. I feel like she's very self-involved. Like she needs to be the center of attention in this specific friendship. Like she always needs to be the one that was with him kind of thing. And there can be like that little little intimacy thing there, even if they're not intimate. I don't know. Yeah, from my perspective, this felt like my word was not trusted unless I gave 100% guarantee, and when I did not, the entire plan was shut down. I understand that anxiety is real, but it also feels unfair to expect me to give up autonomy or make absolute promises about hypothetical scenarios, especially when nothing inappropriate had happened and the history in question was many, many years ago. She did not clearly say what she expected me to do differently. She canceled the trip without further discussion. I feel like I was honest, respectful, and that my boundary was reasonable. So am I the asshole for refusing 100% that I wouldn't sleep with him even though I said I wasn't planning to? No, I don't think you're the asshole. I think you were very honest, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like lying, and I mean, I know you weren't planning to, but you're like, I don't know what the future holds. Like, maybe we get really along and something happens, and then I had promised you this, and then that happens, and then I would have been lying to you. I don't know. I feel like you were just being very honest. It's like, I can't promise that, but I'm not planning on it. Like, I don't know. You know, it's like somebody saying, like, promise me you'll never get a tattoo ever again. And I'd be like, I'm not planning on it, but I can't promise that. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I know that's a bad example, but you know what I mean? It's just weird. We have additional context that for people that asked. A few clarifications that seem important for understanding my response. Thank you. 1, this was not limited to this specific trip. My friend told me she did not want me to hook up with Aaron at all. Not now and not in the future. She also said she would be uncomfortable with me having any kind of romantic relationship with him. Not just, why are you policing her? You're in a relationship. Why do you care so much? Are you still in love with him? That's what I'm getting right now. 2, many people asked why I couldn't just say, sure, no problem, I won't do it. I think it's because of the thing I said. It's like, because you might, and then, I mean, you could just say like, hey, sorry, it happened. I know I said not to, but then it seems like you knew that you promised and then you still did it anyway, and it's like even worse, you know? It's just, it's throwing more flames into a fire. And then she says, the reason is that this was not framed as a one-time reassurance about this trip, but as a blanket expectation about our relationship going forward. I was being asked to promise that I would not pursue anything with A at all indefinitely. And my response, I'm not planning to, but I'm not comfortable with my relationships being policed, was intentional. There is prior context where my friend has tried to restrict my relationships based on her feelings, even when nothing was actively happening, which I was agreeing to a blanket promise felt important to push back on. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. In one case during university, I was starting to talk to a guy we both knew. She asked me not to pursue anything because she wanted to keep him as an option. I agreed and stepped back. She later started dating him about 2 years after that, and they are still together. Okay, so that one worked out, I guess. But still, I mean, she's like, that one's mine, just in case this other one doesn't work out. In another case, she stopped speaking to me for about 2 months over a guy she had liked years earlier in school, even though nothing had happened between them, and I explicitly asked if she wanted me to stay away. I was told, do whatever you want, and then ignored. Yeah. After over a week of no communication, I eventually dated him. That relationship later became my long-term relationship and engagement. Oh, wow. Because of this history, I do not feel comfortable agreeing to a promise that would restrict my relationships in general, even though I was clear that I was not planning to pursue anything. Yeah, that's fair. If this is like a pattern thing, which I felt like it was when you were saying that, like it's just a thing that happens a lot, that's completely fair to me. And 3, my friend's partner is aware that she and A had a brief situation many years ago. He is under the impression that this is long over and not an issue. Because of that, he has been okay with her staying in touch with A and with us traveling to his city. These visits have never involved the two of them alone. Every time she visits A, I was also there, except for one occasion when his girlfriend was present the entire time. Okay, but I'm assuming he's now not with her anymore. There has been no one-on-one time between them since they reconnected. This is why the request for a 100% promise felt like an escalation rather than a simple reassurance. I don't think you're the asshole. Also, the verdict is not the asshole, because this is just odd. You can't do that. But luckily, we have an update. She said she panicked because she interpreted our previous conversation as me preparing the ground to hook up with him and reacted to that fear rather than anything that had actually happened. She framed it as a misunderstanding. What's important for context is that by that point, I had already said multiple times that I'm not planning to sleep with him. I reiterated this again very clearly during this conversation. Nothing has happened. I'm not being sneaky, and this was never something I was actively pursuing. So after that, the trip was back on. That said, I'm still left feeling pretty uncomfortable about how this played out. Not because I want him, but because I don't understand why I had to repeatedly convince someone that nothing will ever happen when there was no concrete ground to suspect that it would, other than the fact that we are both single now. I am also still not okay with my relationships being policed in principle. This is not about this specific person. It is about the expectation that I should provide guarantees or reassurances indefinitely to manage someone else's anxiety, which I do not think is normal or healthy between two adults. It's not, full stop. To be honest, we agreed to put the broader conversation about boundaries and control on hold for now and deal with it later. The trip is back on. Hopefully it goes well. Because many people asked, I'm not planning to go to her partner about this at this point. Nothing concrete has happened, and while I have my own thoughts about why she reacted the way she did, those are still subjective interpretations. I do not think it is my place to escalate things or put ideas in his head when no clear lines have been crossed. My plan is to see how things actually play out this weekend, and then afterward have an honest conversation with her as a friend about why the situation affected her so strongly, especially given that their history was 8 years ago and she is in a committed relationship now. Wish us all luck. I will update everyone after the weekend. When was this? I don't see another update. It was wait, no, it's been over a week. Where's your other update? She forgot about us. Oh, we do have another update. I did digging. I found it. Yes! The weekend ended up going really well. Okay, good. Before I said that, I forgot to comment because I got so excited and I got upset that there wasn't another update, but there is. I think you're handling that well. You know, I think that's a good way to go about it, to just be like, let's just see what's going on, see where her head's at. If this is just like a whole attention thing, do I think it's fair to her significant other? No, I think I would want to know. But like you said, it's like, what am I supposed to say? Like she said, I'm not allowed. Maybe. Shit, I don't know. But I think this is fine. Let's just read. I'm interested to know what happened. Nothing happened between me and A. There was no weird vibes, no tension, and honestly, everything felt normal and relaxed. I also didn't sense any lingering or inappropriate energy from my friend toward him during the trip. So it might just be like, just that thing. It's just like, you can't do that because I already did that, so you can't do that. Which is a problem all in itself, but whatever. After we got back, my friend and I talked again. She clarified that she would probably be okay if we were ever aiming at something serious, but what she was afraid of was us sleeping together casually and then creating awkwardness or damaging the group dynamic. That's valid as well. But like with the history with her, like with the other people, I'm just like, that might be one of the reasons, but I feel like there is something else underlying. I still feel like this was a bit of backtracking compared to how things were framed before the weekend. Yeah, I agree. But at this point, I'm choosing not to dig further into it. In the end, I actually got what I needed from the situation. While we were both going through breakups, it isn't just about that. I realized we are quite similar as people, and talking to him felt easy and natural. It made me see that there's potential for a genuine friendship there over time. As a bonus, he helped me set up a Tinder profile, and I actually have a few dates lined up. So that part worked out pretty well. One surprising detail was that my friend's boyfriend was aware of the whole situation and fully on her side, which honestly confused me a bit. I still have questions about that dynamic, but I'm not planning to get into it further. Okay, well, there you go. That's not your problem. Not your cup. Everybody knows everything. Is that according to her, though? Who's that according to? Apparently, I don't know. But it sounds like you heard it from him. You heard it from the horse's mouth. So it's like, okay, that's not my problem. You guys do what you want to do. That makes me feel better about this whole situation because they can feel however they want about that. Sorry for the less than underwhelming update, and my apologies to everyone who was rooting for me to sleep with him. I wasn't. I was just like go, like hang out, you know? I think that's great. Yeah, no, I think that worked out great. I think you handled the situation really well and very maturely. And yeah, just glad it worked out. Comments say, not the asshole. To be honest, it's a red flag your friend would get so worked up over this when they are already in a committed relationship. If I was the significant other, I would be so pissed to find out my partner is anxious about a friend potentially sleeping with another. Same. But apparently, he doesn't care. So maybe they're into that. I don't know. Not my business. Another comment said, not the asshole. She's still not over this guy and claims possession despite being in another long-term relationship. Rip your friend's BF though. Yeah, this was, I think, before, or I think this was, oh yeah, it was before the update technically. So we know now that he feels a different way, allegedly. Okay, I'm glad that other people feel like that. I'm like, you know, I don't know. Let me know if you like these types of videos. I like hanging out. I need to go lay horizontally. right now. My head doesn't feel too good. But hopefully this was mildly entertaining for you to watch. And don't forget that we have a new mobile game that's out. Caleb and I, my husband, we made a mobile game with our very, very small team. We're so proud of it. So make sure to go check that out. You can download it on the App Store. Legend of Zulk. Super fun. You can get some free candy. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. All right.